Hey there, and welcome back to the Coaches Show here on Hornet Radio. We're coming to you just after the Fullerton College men's soccer game where they end up dropping 2-1 to Norco. But that football is not what we're worried about. We got more about Fullerton College football coming up. So we're back here on the Coaches Show. Ryan Osborne, Corey Nalen, and Mark Pavlovich all doing the dance, just like Becky Nguyen said. As we look at Fullerton College football this upcoming Saturday, guys, you just saw Fullerton go down to East LA, beat East LA pretty handily. I mean, at one point it was 48-7. You look at this Orange Coast matchup on paper, it's not fair.
Yeah, and really when you looked at it, when we went up to East LA to watch the team play, it was one of those games that we really thought it wasn't going to be close, and it wasn't. Lundsberg just lit it up on the field. I mean, you look at him right now, he's in the top 10. He's averaging 240 yards a game passing. And with JT Weir as somebody that can just take off and run down the runway, he got the ball to him to start off the game. And Corey, I thought that was the most impressive part in that game, that Weir and Lundsberg really lined up quickly.
Well, the first play of the ball game was a 75. Well, for offensively for Fullerton was 75 yards and a touchdown. Weir has 8 touchdowns already. I think I'm giving him one more than he actually has, but that's okay. That's top 10 in the state, or at least in the SCFA. We're talking about Lundsberg with 12 touchdowns and only 1 interception. As you said, top 10 in the well, we're going to say top 10 in the state as well as the SCFA. And their defense is coming along just a little bit. But against an opponent like East LA, they can get right. Fred Adams had 2 interceptions in that ball game.
When you look at Fullerton and Orange Coast College, both of these two teams matching up a lot when you look at the historical rivalry and the historical matchup between North Orange County and almost South Orange County. But this has not been a matchup that's been very two-sided, we'll say in the last 15 to 20 years. You have to go back, if I'm remembering correctly, to 2015, the last time that this was in 3 scores between Fullerton and Orange Coast. When you look at an opponent like that, who you know hasn't really stacked up the same as the first 3 opponents that Fullerton College has faced, how difficult is it for this Fullerton College program to not look past this week to their next matchup after the bye?
I don't think they're going to look past it because you've got Brian Crooks there that has been in this situation before. You've got Phil Austin, who's another one, both of them assistant or head coaches, co-head coaches. So I think the big thing is they're going to try and tell the players. The problem is, are the players going to listen? And those would be the people that would look past this game, not the coaching staff at Fullerton College.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Mark. I don't think OCC has enough talent to how can I say, look past them. Talent in this ball game will get them the victory. Now, if they have an off game, they're still going to win.
You look at Fullerton College in terms of the offensive matchup. You guys were talking about it just a few moments ago. This is an offense that, as of right now, is ranked top 15 in the SCFA, top 25, if I remember right, in the 3C2A. It's starting to click. It's starting to go. You see them get past that first week of the season, and all of a sudden that offense really has started to roll. Is there anyone that you're looking for in the first half for Fullerton that's really going to give them a sign that they're going to be off and running?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Lundsberg. I think the young man's got his rhythm going. He feels very comfortable in Garrett Campbell's offense. He knows what to do. And then you bring in Sherholtz, that is the running quarterback. Yeah, he can throw the football, but we all know, and it was funny, you would have thought that East LA would have said, hey, if everybody's covered, we got to have a Mike back standing in front of this guy because he's going to take off. And Corey, more than once, when it opened up, he just ran it into the end zone.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be offensively. OCC, okay, they're 0-4, and they haven't played well, and they got shut out last week. But this is an improving program over the last 5 years. You've seen snippets of, hey, this is going to be a program on the rise, but they just haven't got there yet. It's going to be the defense that really needs to pitch a shutout on Saturday. That's almost the only way that they'll feel like it was a worthwhile victory.
I mean, Corey, you've talked to this defense for years on end. You look at the last time that you talked to them, presumably you talked to them before the East LA matchup and then the matchup right before that here on campus. When you look at a guy like Adams, when you look at this defensive backing core in the past And when Fullerton has been very successful in the last 10 years, they've had a very athletic defensive backing core. How would you stylize this defensive backing core right now?
Getting better. No, they are definitely getting better. There's still work to do. They have swagger. They have that it factor. They just have lapses in the first 4 games that they need to shore up. So that's the defensive secondary. That defensive line is another unit that's getting better. Ethan Charpentier is going to be the state defensive player of the year. If he's not, I want to revote right now. 15 tackles last week, SCFA defensive player of the week 2 weeks ago against Saddleback when he had 15 tackles. That's the strong point. The D-line and the secondary, they're going to need to improve and improve and improve. And by the end of the year, guaranteed, they're going to be the best unit in the state.
And it's my turn to disagree with Corey. I really think the D-line does not get enough love on this defense. You get those 4-down linemen, and they're playing that 4-down lineman. It allows the linebackers to do what they want to do. And they occupy enough space and enough individuals that the linebackers get in there. Palomalu, who maybe doesn't have the numbers, is a force on the end of the line, and he can open things up for a middle linebacker that roams around town. Ryan, I'm going to ask you, because you've been around long enough to talk about this team. Garrett Campbell comes back. We know last year, if I looked down at you during a game, you would just roll your eyes at the offense. You've seen enough. Have you just said, hey, is it the offense and the offensive coordinator, or have they just gotten in offensive talent that they didn't have last year?
I think it's a little mix of both. I think it's also a lot of different styling. You look at last year, there was a different style of offense that was being attended to, and it's not necessarily that both styles don't work. It's just a matter of what fits with your program. And I think when you look at Garrett Campbell, something that fits with this program and has continued to fit for the last 10 years, go out, run, get up and down the field as quickly as possible. If I remember right, in 2016, 2017, he said, we are aiming for a minimum of 70 plays. If we can get off at least 70 to 75 plays, we're going to be very happy because we're going to wear down opposing defenses, and it means that we're going up and down the field almost at will. When you look at Garrett Campbell, if he can play fast, if he can get plays and expand the playbook, that is where he is at his best. And it's something that you actually saw in the Ventura game. I know that Fullerton loses that game 45-42, but he was able to open up the playbook the way that he wanted to, and you started to see the offense from the second quarter on for Fullerton College really get into their rhythm because Garrett Campbell was able to get into his.
And Corey, I've got to look at you because I know you've got them playing against teams that aren't that good right now. I mean, Ventura was that game that I thought, you thought, and Ryan thought that Fullerton should have won, but you've got Cerritos coming up and Golden West College. Should be too challenged. You sort of poo-pooed College of the Canyons already.
No,
No, you're not? Okay.
There you go, putting words, No, College of the Canyons is not where they're normally at, but they're still a strong athletic team with a good run game.
Like I said, he didn't give much love at all. But let's look at Cerritos and Golden West.
You have to cut that out, too.
Okay, you looked at Cerritos and Golden West. You said the real challenge will be beating those two teams.
Yeah, that's the most difficult games left on their schedule.
I mean, to your point, Corey, you look at Golden West, they have now reached the top 4 in the state of California, so not just Southern California, but the 3C2A overall. The last time that they were there, they was in 2022, and it'll be interesting to see how Fullerton does the rest of the way when you look at Fullerton College and how they are going to be able to match up not only against Golden West and Cerritos, but also against Orange Coast. So, for Mark Pavlovich, Corey Nalen, I'm Ryan Osborne, thanking you for joining us here on The Coaches Show. Don't forget, you can watch all the live games of volleyball, men's soccer, and football on Hornet Radio and the Full Call Athletics sports page. You've been watching The Coaches Show on Hornet Radio.